How are we supposed to react?
Politically, we need to start to think very local.
Focusing on ourselves and our spiritual growth, and doing so connected to a community of people who have that as a priority.
Community, needs to have I think there are 5 central elements to community. One is alternative agriculture. It's pretty clear to me that industrial agriculture is leading us to ruin. Roundup is an herbicide that's a deadly poison that is playing havoc in the food, in our systems, and delivered into our systems by the food we eat. The fertilizers that are put on our food also are destroying us, and the amount of sugar that we take in is undermining our metabolic integrity. First thing it starts with when we say we're going to take care of ourselves and grow ourselves spiritually is we have to pay attention to what we eat. The second thing is we also need to learn how to generate, a small amount of electricity to keep our appliances operating. We don't need all the appliances there are in the world, but our communication equipment and our data processing equipment, it would be good if we could continue to have operate for us. Alternative energy, alternative medicine is totally important. Our healthcare system is out of control. It has completely lost its context and its way. Doctors used to go into medicine not to become rich, but to help people, and now they go into medicine to become rich. Most of them don't end up that way, but that's why they go there, because it sounds like a good paying thing. The pharmaceutical companies dominate medical education today, ensuring that no physicians anymore have a big general picture. Everybody is so specialized that they have a very narrow area in which they know a little about, particularly how the pharmaceuticals impact the systems that they're concerned about. Alternative medicine is really critically important. There is no reason why we should be dependent on pharmaceuticals, and no reason why the extraordinary mineral and herbal medicines that are available to us cheaply, that we can mostly manufacture ourselves, and that mostly take care of the basic problems that we have, can't be available to everybody.
And this is, we could talk about this topic, and I'm also trying to follow that you said there are 5 things that we have to deal with as a community.
Alternative medicine
is one of them.
No, alternative agriculture, alternative energy, alternative medicine,
yeah.
Alternative education. Think about the educational system in the United States today, which was once really very fine. Today it is depressing, and there is no respect for teachers. The parents don't respect the teachers anymore. Parents have been enlisted in the war against teachers. And the unfortunate thing is, teaching is an extraordinary profession. It is an extraordinary necessary profession, and we should be honoring our teachers and supporting our teachers and promoting our teachers, because they are the people who we are counting on to prepare our children. And if we really love our children and we want better for them, we absolutely have to support the people who we expect are going to prepare them. If we're going in week after week and year after year, knocking down the teachers, telling them they're terrible, taking away their pay, taking away their benefits, what can we expect that they are going to be willing to invest in our children?
Well, I mean, and I agree 100%. I mean, that's what all my degrees were in, is education. I taught fifth grade math and science, but I stopped because I was like, I can't work in the public school system. I got in trouble all the time, and I butted heads, and parents hated me, kids loved me, administration hated me. But since then, which has been a long time ago, 2 decades now, I think we have more alternative education. I think we have more alternative healthcare. But yeah, there's still a mass. I hate that it's even called alternative, but...
Well, it's not alternative, but we're calling it alternative in the best sense of the word, because it is an alternative to the toxic systems that, you know, are basically functioning at the center of our social system at this point in time. And, you know, while there's a lot more alternatives available to people today, you know, the pharmaceutical companies and their agents who, you know, are our elected representatives are doing their very best to undermine the credibility of any of the alternatives and doing their best to make those alternatives unavailable to people.
Yeah, to the people who need them the most.
So, and you know, just as an example, 50 years ago, well, 60 years ago, there used to be many osteopathic hospitals in the United States. Now there are none. Yeah. How many hospitals are there in the United States where traditional or classical Chinese medicine is the modality?
Oh,
well, actually, there's maybe none.
Yeah, well,
there might be one, I don't know.
Hospitals?
Yeah, a hospital.
Oh, no, none.
Right, none.
None.
I mean, you know.
Not classical.
There's no, there aren't, you know, the system functions to undermine the possibility of those kinds of developments. And finally, you know, we need, the fifth thing is alternative religion. We need to free ourselves from the religious models that dominate our culture. These are models that were created in the Middle East between 1500 and 2500 years ago that currently have nothing to do with anything about our lives or the way we experience the world. We need to free ourselves from the model of an authoritarian God who is looking over us and judging us and deciding which of us will be admitted into the honor of his company and which of us will spend the rest of eternity suffering in hell. You know? I mean, I have been I've lived a contemplative life for the last 45 years, maybe my whole life, but certainly the last 45 years. And I have never yet bumped into, in any of my meditations, heaven or hell. What I have found is that for most people, life on earth is hell, and for the few people who are able to see into the center of themselves and come into contact with that extraordinary power that has caused them to be alive to begin with, they have discovered an abundance and a joy and a peace that transforms this entire experience of living into heaven. And personally, that's where I think I live right now.